Hey, it's Levon and welcome back to my channel. I feel like today's video has been such a long time coming because I cannot shut up about Alessa Thorn, and she has so many different series. I know it can probably feel overwhelming for a person who hasn't read a book from her before to feel like, where do I start? What do I read first? So today I want to tell you my preferred or recommended series reading order just for to date, because she's still writing things. So let's hop into it. If you've never read an Alessa Thorn book before, I'm actually going to recommend to you her most recent published book, which is Ironheart, because once you read one book, you're going to get addicted. You're going to want more. And so since this is the most recent book and we're probably gonna have to wait the longest for the sequel, go ahead and get this one out of the way, and then you can binge all the other ones while you wait for the next book. Okay. I don't want to tell you too much about it. I'm just going to tell you that it's got gargoyles and you're going to love it. Once you've finished Ironheart, I'm going to suggest that you start with Wrath of the Fae. And here's why. Wrath of the Fae has 3 different series with more coming. Okay, it's a 3-series world, I should say, with more series pieces coming. It's such a weird thing to explain, but I promise once you start reading, it'll completely make sense. My point is there's a lot to get through here, so we want to go ahead and start off with the first 3 books, the Wrath of the Fae series, and then you're gonna get a little bit more later, Next, I would say to start with Court of the Underworld, and you can actually break this up into 2. Read the first 4 books. That's going to be volume 1 of Court of the Underworld, and then we'll get to Court of the Underworld volume 2 later. And for the same reason, if you break it up like this, it's technically in 3 pieces, with possibly another piece coming later. So we just want to space these out so you're not just sitting in the same world for a really long time. Next, we're gonna hop right back into the Wrath of the Fae world by reading the Ironwood series next. And I wanna do this one next because there's a lot that happens in these 4 books, and you wanna kind of read this soon before you forget who people are, you forget what they're doing, and especially because this series ends. Never mind. I don't want to spoil it, but the way that this series ends, I promise you want to go ahead and do the Ironwood series. And when you read Wrath of the Fae, when you read book 3, you're going to be fiending for the series anyway. So you're going to be happy to read this one next. Then we're going to hop back over into Court of the Underworld and go ahead and read those last 3 books, because this is a series, the 7 of them, where each book has its own arc between the 2 main characters, but there's an overarching arc for the entire series. So now you've been chomping at the bit. You need to know what is going to happen. How is this all going to end? And now you're going to read these 3 books in a row. I feel like at the end of the Court of the Underworld, you feel this need for justice and righteous anger and vengeance that is 100% overdue. And I think that leads beautifully right into the next series that I want to recommend, which is Mercenaries of Magic. This is a fun, the feels, the vibes, the emotions, I can only describe it as ooey gooey, but it's so yummy. I don't know why I'm putting food words to the way that this book makes me feel, but it feels yummy because it's a series about assassins, these people who are wielding daggers and, they're shifting through shadows, and you don't expect the virality of their emotions, and you don't expect them to be such deep, the depth of their character. It's just so surprising and heartwarming and captivating. And so I think that this is a perfect series to follow up with after we're done with Court of the Underworld. At the end of Mercenaries and Magic, you are feeling Unholy by Sam Smith. That's how you're feeling. Like, that's the vibe. And so I think the perfect way to like ride that wave is to now go to the Lost Fae Kings series, because it's good. They're we're back in a familiar world, but we're learning more things. We are getting bigger and more in depth into a backstory that we've learned such a long time ago. You've had all this space now to kind of like be away from these characters that you've already met. And now you're getting to re-meet them and be like, oh yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, this, oh yeah, that. And it's so fun to have that feeling where you feel like you know the characters, and it doesn't make the story predictable. It's just that you feel like you can count on the characters to react this way. And I love that feeling like you literally know them as a person. Like if you met them at a coffee shop, you'd be able to sit down and have a conversation with them. That's how you're feeling now when you read the Lost Fae Kings series. And next, I think that like the Lost Fae King series is like giving you a warm hug and a little bit more. And so now we want to finish with the most delicious, the most delectable series, in my opinion, that Alessa has written, and that is the Gods of Duat series. I am just an Anubis girl. I'm an Anubis girl. I don't know what it is, but the way that she's written Anubis, if I could eat the book, if I could marry the book, I'm chomping at the, I'm chomping at the bar. I'm chomping at the bars of my enclosure for this one. I can't explain it any other way. There's no other way to tell you why the books are so good. I'm just feral for the series. And you hopefully, depending on when you read this, by the time you are done with Gods of Duat series, hopefully Alessa has published another book and we can just continue. This is not the chronological series of her, like of how she's published things, mind you. If you just want to go in order of publication, I think that the best way to do that, because she did bop around on different series, the best way to do that would be to read all of Court of the Underworld, then Gods of Duat. Then I would say go ahead, and even though this is a little out of order, just go ahead and read Mercenaries of Magic, because then you're gonna do Wrath of the Fae, then Ironwood, then the Lost Fae Kings, and then you would do Ironheart last. And if you get through all of Alessa Thorn's backlog and she still hasn't published another book and you are in a reading slump, because Alessa will do that because you will fall in love with her books, I have two authors, two series that I want to recommend to you to have the same kind of vibe and the same kind of feels. And that would be Office of Highland Magic by Farrell Dawson. This is a really fun 3-book series right now that has the potential for more. And then we also have the Tarot Kings series by Amy Kuvalainen, which the first book I think I've read about 16 times now, and I'm not exaggerating. 16 times I've read King of Swords. So, and the second book, I love that one just as much. Third book is, by the time you see this, I think it's already out, or it's about to be out within the month. I don't know when this video is being published, but it's out very soon. So hopefully, definitely by the time you read through all of Alessa's books, you'll have all 3 of the books in that series by Amy Kuvalainen. So I hope that this video was helpful to you. I hope that it inspires you to start reading Alessa Thorn. Everyone should read, anyone who reads romantic fantasy should read Alessa Thorn, because it's magical. I don't know what kind of water she's drinking, or like what she puts in the books. I don't know what it is, but I'm just in love. I'm in love. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you around. Bye.